St. John's Church Spiritual Park and Community Garden. My name is Penny Nutbrown. I'm one of the volunteers here, and we would like to take a few minutes to show you around our garden and maybe tell you a little bit about how you can help us out and how you can volunteer and where we are and what we do. So if you would like to join us, come on, we're going to have a tour of the garden next. This area of the garden is actually our community garden. The food that we are growing here, we are going to give to organizations who are helping those who are food insecure in our community. We have 4 amazing raised bed planters that were built by the volunteers here at the church and under the design supervision of Craig Smith at Punk Rock Produce. This first one here is our Three Sisters Garden in honor of our Indigenous heritage here in Port Hope. So we have corn, beans, and several kinds of squash going here, which are all indigenous plants to North America. So we are hoping for a really good harvest here. Over here, we have a lot of tomatoes, but we also have greens. We have cabbage, and we have kale, and we even have some strawberries. We have Swiss chard, and we have tomatoes pretty much everywhere. Susie Gabney from the Tomato Lady donated a number of tomato plants to us, so we have a number of heritage tomatoes in our garden as well, which we're looking forward to harvesting later in the year. This area of the garden is mainly tomato plants, so we have a number of tomato plants growing here, as well as some peppers, and then we have peas growing here and radishes that the kindergarten children at Ganaraska Trail started for us, so they're quite healthy and strong. Here we have some more greens, including some more kale, and we have some cilantro, which had a rough start but is now seeming to take off. We also have a new plant to us, which is Holy Land sage. One of our seedling foster parents grew it for us, and so we're really curious to see how it compares to regular sage when harvest time comes. The kale actually is ready to be harvested now, some of it, so we'll be doing that, I think, this evening as well, because it's really ready to go. The corner garden here is mainly herbs with some more squash. The squash and the zucchini and the pumpkin seeds all did very well. So we have a lot of squash and pumpkin and zucchini this year. And the odd tomato plant, because we are very blessed with a large number of tomatoes this year. At the center of the garden are a couple of seating areas. We have one seating area under this beautiful tree here. This was built by a local carpenter as a volunteer. It's a beautiful place to sit in the shade, and there's actually a wind chime in the tree there that plays the opening notes of Amazing Grace. It's very calming if you're sitting there. We also have our memory/celebration garden, which is here. The chairs are made of recycled plastic, and they have been arranged in accordance with COVID-19 precautions, so there's lots of space in between. At the center of the memory garden are our memory stones, or our celebration stones. So people can have a stone made with the date of a special occasion, such as a birth or a marriage, or in memory of someone who has passed away. And they will circle the octagon there in the center of the memory garden. So the children's area is possibly the most exciting part of the garden. The children who have been helping make the garden have been playing here and having a very good time for a number of weeks now. And they've been really helpful in all that has gone on. They've been involved in everything from growing seeds into seedlings, to planting, to hauling, to building the shed. The young people have really worked hard on this garden this year. So we have Isla here. Hi. Drawing with some sidewalk chalk on our sidewalks. Our mud kitchen is here. A volunteer from Port Hope for Future, Dan McKenzie, built this for us. So the children have been having a lot of fun the last couple of days, making mud cakes and mud pies and mud biscuits and mud muffins and all sorts of mud things today. So in the outdoor classroom space, which is tucked away here behind to one side of the shed, we have a blackboard, which is sheltered from the rain a bit, and we also have seating stones, so we can actually conduct a Sunday school class here or any other kind of children's activity And again, due to COVID restrictions, we've got some spacing between the stones for now. But this is going to be a lovely area in which the children can learn and play and talk and have story time and all sorts of things. We have the Indigenous Plants Garden. So many of these plants came from local gardeners, Val Wally being one, Signe Langford being another, and some other donations here and there as well. So all of the plants here are indigenous to Northumberland County, and we're hoping this area expands quite a bit over the years. Over here we have a couple of beds for the kids. This one is a sandbox / pea gravel box where the kids can engage in construction and lots of dramatic play. And then we also have, kids have their very own garden. It's predominantly herbs with a couple of tomato plants as well. And the kids who are here tonight actually planted this garden themselves and did a very good job, and we've been maintaining that, and it's just been growing amazingly well. And then through this passage here, we have a hopscotch. So here we have our little fairy garden. So we have a whole bunch of little treasures for the kids to come around the corner and find. We have a fairy house and mushrooms and gnomes, and we have a tic-tac-toe game going on an old stump, and some dinosaurs. If you look very carefully, you can go on safari and find some dinosaurs. So this is just a quiet little space where the kids can come and really let their imagination run and enjoy a bit of calm area, but at the same time be engaged in creative play. It's made for us by a local craftsman, Travis Worthington, and it's here to encourage our feathered friends to seek a little comfort in the garden as well. It's one of 3 wildlife homes that we have included in the garden. This is our bee hotel, which was donated by Nearly New in Town, and we actually put that up last October, and we did have several insects winter over inside the little tubes, which keep them safe and warm. This is especially designed for solitary bees who don't live in a hive. They aren't part of a hive, and this helps them to survive over the winter. And then 12 feet up, we have our bat house. So we really hope you enjoyed your tour of the garden here at St. John's Church. If you are interested in volunteering, we'll put the contact information on at the end of this video. And if you would just like a quiet place to come and enjoy some nature, to spend some time in a garden, to listen to the wind chimes, to listen to the birds, you are more than welcome to come. This is a garden for the entire community. If you would like to volunteer over the course of the growing year, we would love to have your help. Most of the tasks involve watering and just checking to make sure the garden is okay. So everybody signs up for a week, going from Sunday to Saturday, and over the course of the growing season, which would be June through to the end of September. When it's your turn to be the waterer-in-chief of this garden, we're asking that you come a couple of times a week, maybe 2 or 3 times, depending on the weather. If it's a really rainy week, you need to come less. The tasks involve checking to make sure that everything is as it should be, just doing a check for any garbage that might have been left around or anything that doesn't look right. And also the main task though is watering. So we do have a rainwater tank where we are hoping to get enough water to be able to water our crops this year. But in the event that the water levels are low, we do have an outside tap that you can hook the hose to and water. Everything is in the shed. We'll give you the combination for the shed when you need it. It's just a matter of filling the buckets or using the hose and giving the crops a good watering in every time that you're here. And if there is a problem, you can always contact me and I will give you my contact information, so that's not going to be a problem. If something happens and you think you need a little bit of advice, just give me a call and we'll see what we can do.